What's next for Mozambique's disputed election now that Venancio Mondlane is back in the country from self-imposed exile? The charismatic opposition leader landed in Maputo's international airport early on Thursday. He had fled Mozambique last year after his lawyer and another opposition official were killed just days after October's vote, as observers and opposition parties questioned the integrity of the election. Mondlane had called on his supporters to meet him on arrival, but security forces restricted access to the airport. He did speak to journalists on his intentions.
I'm here to break this narrative that I am voluntarily absent from dialogue initiatives. So I'm here in the flesh to say that if you want to negotiate, if you want to talk to me, you want to come to the conversation table, I'm here.
The death toll from post-election violence has reached 300, according to local rights groups. Now, while official results gave the ruling Frelimo party 65% of the vote, compared to just 24% for the opposition, Mondlane insists he won the election. His return comes as a clear challenge to Frelimo's candidate Daniel Chapo, who's set to be sworn in as president next week. Now, what message is Mondlane sending by returning just days before Chapo's inauguration? I put that question to Zenaida Machado from Human Rights Watch.
He said that he is returning to Mozambique for various reasons. And some of those reasons are the fact that he is tired of seeing some of his supporters being physically targeted because of this movement, and he has decided that if there is a need for that, he will be in the country himself, and he should be the primary target, not the supporters. The second reason why he decided to return, according to his words, is that he felt that the other political figures in the country were using his absence to justify the absence of dialogue. So according to him, he wanted to put an end to the narrative that it's not possible to have a dialogue for peace while he's away from the country. The third point that he noted is that he wanted to be in the country to lead the movement from inside rather than abroad.
Right, we'll discuss the negotiation shortly, but there had been some fears among his supporters that he might be arrested on arrival. We haven't heard of that yet, but is that still a possibility, especially considering the continued clashes between his supporters and security forces?
That fear was not just of his supporters. We also, as human rights defenders and watchers, researchers, were also concerned that that the security forces could implement what they had been threatened to use for a few weeks now, which is a mandate to capture him, arrest him, and make him face the justice. That wasn't done upon his arrival, and it somehow leads to us to believe that such warrant of arrest never really existed. It was just a political talk. But it's also important that it didn't happen because it did not raise the tensions among his supporters. One of the fears that we had and many observers had was that an attempt against Venancio Mondlane could lead tempers to rise, lead his supporters to try to defend him, and somehow that could lead to violence. And it didn't happen. He arrived, he was able to move around the city. The last time I checked, he was addressing his supporters in one of the squares in Maputo city. We do, however, note with concern the fact that the security forces continue to use excessive force unnecessarily. So far, unfortunately, 2 people have been killed as they tried to reach the perimeter of the airport to welcome Venancio Mondlane. We can't at this stage confidently say that they were killed by police, but they were killed by live bullets. And as far as we know, live bullets in that context are only used by members of security forces.
Okay, Zenaida, we don't have much time left, but Mondlane says he's willing to negotiate. What kind of outcome do you think he's looking for, and where do you see this all heading? What should we be looking out for over the next, in the near future?
I think we are all expected to see what kind of negotiations they're talking about, because Venancio has been adamant that he's the winner of these elections and that he is the president-elect. If you observed when he arrived at the airport, one of his first actions was to do a mock-up of sworn-in, presidential sworn-in using his Bible. So I'm not too sure what he intends to get out of negotiations. But for us, what we aim and hope to see is that whatever dialogue that will start among political parties will lead to the immediate end of violence and to a solution that will not cause Mozambicans to die on the streets as they exercise their right to protest.
Okay, Zenaida Machado from Human Rights Watch, thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you so much.